struggled to articulate pathway was going to be, how he could make that case. And here we are at the end of this saga that, again, we had seen somebody who really struggled to find a message, to find a footing, to find a way to deal with former President Trump. And in the end of the day, former President Trump defined Florida Governor Ron DeSantis before Florida Governor Ron DeSantis could define himself. And today is a campaign that has come to an end before they could get to that promised land of South Carolina that they were hoping for, Alex.
Okay, if that's true, wow, that's huge. I mean, he gets out of the race before New Hampshire is over. He was supposedly spending time down in South Carolina, but if he's getting out of the race, this is huge. This means that Nikki Haley has that binary race that she wanted. She wanted a race pitting her against Donald Trump. Well, you asked for it. Here we go. Right. So look, I wanted to come on and tell you about Google Trends versus the polling average, and we still can. So let's take a look at it real quick. But you know what? Everything just changed. Look, folks, I told you 2024, this race for president is going to be wild. So the fact that Ron DeSantis decides to get out of this race early is wild. Let's look at it right now. Look at the polling average, plus 15. Nikki Haley hasn't really campaigned the way I think that she should in New Hampshire, or the way I think other pollsters and pundits think that she should. But here we are. So it's really a binary choice between Nikki Haley and Donald Trump. I believe the Trump support, the DeSantis support in New Hampshire, which is like 6%, that probably, wow. I mean, it probably goes over to Trump. So making that race probably more like plus 20. However, I mean, there's a wild card there. What if they go the other way? Then we're in the single digits, possibly, right? So there's a lot that could possibly happen. Now, compare this number, right, plus 15, to the Google Trends. And, you know, if you followed us before, we did the Google Trends analysis versus the polling average before. Did it in Iowa. We'll do it again here. This is what we see. This is what we see. Trump 47, Nikki Haley 24. So I mean, we're about 20 points or so difference between the candidates in New Hampshire. The fact that Ron DeSantis just got out of the race, if that is true, the binary that Nikki Haley wanted is there. Now, I'm here to tell you, I already see the writing on the wall when it comes to, if this is true, Ron DeSantis is going to support Donald Trump. I see him probably later on today putting all of his support behind Donald Trump. And now they can do that. And let me tell you, this is exciting. I can tell you, they can do that. But let me tell you something. Nikki Haley is a much better candidate than Donald Trump. And Republicans really need to ask themselves this question. I don't know who the vice president will be, but let's assume that it's Donald Trump and Stefanik. Would you put the keys of the kingdom in the hands of Stefanik or Nikki Haley if she was a number two? I'd give it to Nikki Haley before I'd give it to Stefanik. Now, and you may be saying to yourself, if you're a Republican, hey, you know what? She's relying on support from Democrats and independents. Well, I'll tell you, you're not going to get those Democrats in the general election. But if you got a good candidate and she can get out of her own way, you could win the presidency with Nikki Haley. Because the Nikki Haley race versus Joe Biden race sets up better for Republicans than the Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And look, you had what's the guy, Matt Gaetz down there the other week talking about if you don't get Karens from a Republican Party, then you can rely on Jamals and Julios or whatever the hell he said. I'm here to tell you, no, you can't, because in most cases they don't vote. Okay, they just don't. I mean, the numbers tell you that, and the fact that hard truth, just a hard truth, 15 million votes or so. That's your universe. Let's say you get half of them. It's not enough. Right. Because you got never Trumpers. You have a coalition. I believe people who were or will be against Donald Trump on the Republican side is a greater number than what's being reported. So it only sets up well for Joe Biden to win. But if you really want to win, you probably should be looking at Nikki Haley, because she's right. I mean, I hate to say it, but she is right. When you look at Donald Trump, look at him. Look at him doing these rallies, and all the makeup sweating off his face, and he's standing out there doing his thing with his fist, and with his mouth open. I've seen him in different images with his mouth open during the court cases. He's not all there. And I'm not surprised that he's not all there, because with 91 counts, like I said before, 91 counts, no way in the world anybody starts to collapse under that type of pressure, because they start looking at the Justice Department's record and getting a conviction. It's going to weigh on you. And the fact that they're attacking the money too, he's got these cases, fraud and $250 million. We have to answer the question that everyone wants to know. What is his real net worth? It may be closer to what Mitt Romney said it was in 2016. Nikki Haley's a much better candidate. Now, you may want that choice of going to battle with Donald Trump. But I can tell you, 4 more years of Donald Trump in the White House, he's not going to be there. It's already crystal clear. Now, I've always said that we'd have a broker convention, but it's going to be, if there is a broker convention, it's going to be whether or not you support Nikki Haley or whether you support Donald Trump. And Donald Trump still could be convicted by summer. So, it's your choice, people. But if you want to win, it's got to be done with Nikki Haley. I don't think you're going to do it with Donald Trump. Just my personal opinion. But like I tell everybody, hey, you know what? I could be wrong. So give me your comments. And hey, that late breaking news about DeSantis, give me your comments about that. But at the end of the day, folks, I need you to like and subscribe. Like I told you, this race is going to be crazy this year, and this is not disappointing today.